Well, hello there. I hope this finds you well. And here we are, another midweek mindfulness, coming back into the midweek and finding that little hump as we come halfway through our working week. So the midweek mindfulness, this week I'd like us to think about how projecting forward and our expectations of things that happen bring about issues. So, but previous to things happening, we get ourselves caught up in what might happen, especially when we're doing something that is out of our comfort zone, or we don't really want to do. So we put ourselves in a place where, oh, this is going to happen and that's going to happen, and so we project forward all the time. Our expectation of the event is always generally built up to be worse than it actually is. Even if you're having root canal, it's just, we always think that the worst is going to happen. Well, we don't, but our mind does. Our mind takes over that. As Jamie Cato says, the bullshit FM takes over, and we start to turn that radio station up and it gets loud. So what I'm saying is, for this midweek mindfulness, as we've still got some of the week to go, rather than projecting forwards all the time and concerning ourselves with what's going to happen, building up a narrative around it, let's draw ourselves back to that present moment. And also, when we have something really exciting and fun to do. So meeting our family, having a barbecue, going out, seeing some friends, going to the pub, or whatever you enjoy doing, instead of projecting forward and expecting that to be the most amazing thing that is gonna happen to you, and then when it does happen, it's an anti-climax. It's because we always build things up to be more than they really are, on a positive or a negative aspect. And so that's where we find ourselves feeling let down, or the expectation wasn't quite what it was. And so, we always feel like it was, it would have been a good night, but this happened, and it would have been a good night, but that happened. And so instead, rather than projecting always, let's try and draw our awareness back to what we're just doing now and see if that helps. So the other side of this coin is that when we think about some of our best events that we've been to, some of the best nights you've had, for me, I find they're generally the impromptu ones. They're the ones that I don't plan. They're the ones that just fall into place and they just happen. And, my belief around that is because there's no expectation. I haven't built up some picture in my mind about what's going to happen. It just happens. It's very natural. I flow with it. And it's a real saying. Lots of people say that, the best nights that we have out are the ones that we don't plan. That's because we don't build up a story about it in our heads first, so then we don't feel disappointed when it doesn't turn out quite as we planned. And everything's just spontaneous. We're being in the moment. And when we're being in the moment, nothing else matters. And that is when we find our most joy. So we're halfway through the week. Midweek mindfulness, or the mindfulness for midweek. Let's be more present. Stay in the moment. Stop projecting forward. Stop worrying about the expectations of what's supposed to happen. And be present with yourself, your loved ones, and friends and family. Okay, take care, and I'll see you next week.